So my lesson plan is for first grade students, and it's all about demonstrating an understanding of the words fair and equal, and kind of their connection to classroom rules and like rules and expectations around your peers. So the important questions, why is this important? So I just basically said that teaching children about social justice is so important because it's a crucial factor to our future. The students we teach are our future, so teaching them about social justice, equality, and things like that sets them up to be active in these topics and promote necessary change in the future. And then what can we as teachers do to enhance these topics and kind of promote them throughout the classroom? I basically said this can be done in a lot of ways, but one big way is through lesson plans, just as we're doing. So you can just do a lesson plan that introduces them to even key vocabulary, just as I am, just to kind of set them up to understand and be able to dive into these topics later on once they have their own beliefs set. It's kind of just introducing and neutrally diving into these topics to give the kids like proper knowledge to later decide where they stand in the future. So the themes I went by are the power, authority, and governance, and civil ideas and practices. These are just the outcomes and standards, so it's all about rules in the classroom and to define equality and the need to treat everyone equally. For the outcomes, it's just basically just a little run through of the lesson plan, which I'll go through after this. Materials, a pre-assessment, equal and fair worksheet. There's 2 worksheets, and then a book, This Is Our House, strips of paper, a rules visual board, glue, crayons, and pencils. So this is the lesson introduction. So I would begin by introducing the lesson with kind of a pre-assessment technique. So I would just ask the students to write a sentence or maybe a word that they think the word fair means, and also the word equal. I also give students the opportunity to draw. This is more for like ELL students or students that need a little bit more assistance. So this gives them the chance to draw out what they think the word means. And then the teacher will also take part in this with the students just to show them what fair and equal actually does mean. This will just be presented on the board, and the teacher will just go through this after the students kind of go through their own idea of what they think those words mean. So after that, we would just kind of dive into the overall lesson plan, and we would do that through a book called This Is Our House. So I would just kind of do a read along, so the students can read along with the teacher and kind of just understand what the book means and things like that. And basically this reading is about one student telling their peers that they aren't allowed to play in his house. He's not being fair. He's not treating them equally. He's saying you can't play because you're twins. You can't play because you're a girl, things like that. And then the students kind of show the other peer why he's being unfair. So questions I would do during the reading is George being fair? How do you think the children who couldn't play felt? Is George treating everyone equally? And then after the reading, I would just ask, how did the other children teach George to be fair? And is it fair to tell someone they can't play with you? So this is more of the hands-on activity, and this just kind of goes into why rules are important and how we can make rules that are equal and fair to our peers and ourselves. So I would just explain to the students that they're going to be working in groups of 2. And this is more of an artistic, creative, hands-on activity. The students will work in groups of 2 and just decide on a rule for the class that kind of promotes equality and fairness. So they would just, with their peers, just come up with a rule that they think is good, and they're invited to be so creative with this. They can do it in the picture form, as long as it fits on the strip. They can do it in a sentence with different colors. And this is just a visual that I made just to kind of show what it would look like. So this is the closing and the assessment. So after the students create their classroom rule with each other, I just want them to take the time to explain why their rule is fair or equal to their peers. So then after they do that, they'll be invited to come up, and then the teacher would just help them apply some glue to the strip and put it right onto the classroom board to be posted in the class for the rest of the year. Accommodations and modifications. So child-specific preferential seating, This is just an example. If students with these disabilities were in my class, what I would do. Obviously, it would change depending on what real life classroom I'm in. So I did ADHD, offer mini breaks for the students to move around during the lesson. And then for ELL students, offer worksheets and drawing alternatives to the students with language barriers. For modifications, easier, I said one-on-one time will be offered, and then students who need more assistance will be just paired with more advanced students. As for harder, I would just give more advanced students a little bit more complex questions on like worksheets and stuff like that. I'll give them the chance to say what they would do in a situation similar to the one in This Is Our House. And then I would also provide a bonus question on the worksheet for more advanced students and just say, what is the difference between fair and equal? Just try to see what they know. That's it.